Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Crow. This is the first video you should look at to get started on the course. I'm going to describe this using the iPad, which is displaying right now, and how to go through the course. So this was created for a computer. So if you have a regular computer, that's what I prefer you to look at, and you'll go right to the home page, and that's what you need to start going through. So if you're not, you go down to pages and click on pages, and it says front page, and that'll come up. That has my introductory video for the syllabus. It has the section outline for how the sections are done, and it describes the other details. So email is the best way to communicate with me. I get that pretty much all the time. Ask me questions. There's a lot of detail in this front page that you should go through multiple times, take notes on, so you know what to do, including the videos. The videos describe a bunch of content and how the courses ran. But the basic breakdown is just like a normal class. So you got to think of this as a class. So in a class, what do? You go there the first day and you meet. Well, of course, mine will be videos. The videos are found in modules, all the content. So you go to class the first day and you take notes. So you should be taking notes on everything the instructor says. In my case, everything I say and write down on the iPad. So you take notes, and then what has happened after that is usually you have a test or a quiz at some point. And so I have you take notes, and then later, then maybe you've assigned some homework. Okay, so the instructor assigns some homework. The homework are the exercises. Okay, that can be found in modules, or it can be found in topic outline. So modules or topic outline, if you read it, it says exercises, and let me show you, actually, I can pull this up. So right here, it says exercises, read book. That means your homework is just to read the book. Going down, this says Fisher, page 6, 1B, C, D, etc. So in Fisher, you go to Files. Let's just go ahead and do it. You go back, and on a computer, it'll be the same way. You go to Files, scrolling down, here's Files. And you might see something different right here in the student view. You can see those little X's or circles of the thing out, and those aren't being displayed for you. Okay, and so I have all my old syllabi there, basically, right? So you go to additional support material. That is your first one you click on, and then that has all the content for the class, what we were talking about, Fisher, right? That's one of the books, or one of the pieces of the book, not the whole thing, of course. So Fisher Sets and Summation PDF, Fisher Solutions. Well, that's pretty much all you got. Then you have you got stacks, you got sections. Okay, well, click on Fisher Sets and Summations. You click on that, and that's where you find the information about set notation. So this is an old stat book, and that's just a piece of it, so it's okay to post. And that's where I reference things. You go down to where the homework is, and somewhere in there, I think, it said to do the homework. It tells you what page number is on. Page numbers are, where are they? At the upper left, that's page 8, summation notation. And so that's what I asked you to do. So let's go back. Okay, so that's where you find your work. Let's go back to this, actually. So you also have examples of ANOVA, that's much later. Examples of ANOVA Excel, that's later. Then you have the OpenStax. That is really just another reference book that I use in this class, and you can use that for references, although we aren't going to use it specifically for testing. What you want to focus on are let's go back again. Well, those are my notes. So I post some notes. So if you go to Stat 10, Lectures 4, there's 13, 14. What's the most recent one you'll see is 5 and 6. So this is section 5 and 6. Okay, so this is what I have written up. This is in the modules in that same section. So I go by sections, is the content for the course. And you go through all of those. but let me focus on this right here. So those are the problems that you do. It says Mendenhall 12, that's addition. And then it says page 101, 101, 3.5. What is 3.5? Well, 3.5 is the way they do the chapter, they assign the homework. This is how this book does it. That's chapter 3, number 5. And then the next one, page 112, 3.11, 3.13. What does that mean? That means chapter 3, number 11, chapter 3, number 13, etc. Okay, so then you have my notes for this section. And here's another section here too. There's probability. Exercises means homework. Mendenhall, that page. And so you go to lecture, meaning you watch my videos, you take notes, then you start doing those homework problems. You go through all of this, you copy everything down, you watch the videos, listen to what I have to say, copy it down, and then you try the homework problems. And then what does happen after homework? Usually you're getting quizzed on or tested. So that'll be at the end. In between, we don't communicate in class, so we have a discussion board. Those are what the discussions are. So those, you got to look at the due dates for each one of those. So you go to the discussions, you do those, get those out of the way, and then you do the videos. You just go into modules. I'm going to go right down the list of the modules. They're right here, and you just start with number 1 and you just start going. The first quiz is 1 through 6, and how would you know that? Well, you would know that because let's go back here, in pages, you would have clicked on topic outline for Stat 10. Well, topic outline for Stat 10 tells you exactly what we're going to be doing. The topic outline for Stat 10, says right there, discussion 1, quiz 1, section 1 through 6. Then you do discussion 2. Then you do quiz 2, section 7 and 8. And then you got to look at the due dates when those are opened and when they're due. And then the other piece to this, and I'll get to this in a bit. So that's how you know what the quiz is going to be on. And then I have the weekly outline here. So these, the number 3, 4, 5, 6, that is also copied and pasted in modules. Those little sections right there are copied and pasted in the modules. So if you go back to, that's right. No, those are the sections. So if you go back to modules right here and click on, say, section 6, that first part is copied and pasted from the topic outline. And it tells you exactly what to do. The quizzes come right from my notes and right from the homework, the exact problems, for about 70 to 99% of the problems. There's only 5 questions per quiz. 5 questions per quiz. I might give 1, maybe 2 that's not exactly like this, that you have to actually work out. And that's, of course, my purview. But the main thing you're doing is just showing me that you're doing the work. A high stakes exam is just going to be, let's say, not authentic, is usually what I see in a class that's online. So you're just showing me that you're doing all the work, that you're reading everything, you're watching all the videos, you're taking the quizzes. So you take the quiz, and when you take the quiz, look at the directions. So the directions say write something for each question. So it might be a true or false question. So just say true because blah blah blah, and it's just one little sentence. That's all you need. And then it'll say stuff like turn in turn in example, say 3 that we did in that section. And you literally just write down the answer, and it's in my notes. And you turn that in on your written work upload. So you'll be writing things out on a piece of paper in your own handwriting. It must be in your own handwriting. Your lecture notes as well must be in your own handwriting. And you'll be turning those in. You have to look at the dates when to turn those in. I don't want to be too much information in this video. So all those dates are there when I open them and when they're closed and when they're available. Okay? And you can go to a student view. I actually can't do it in my views, but in student view, you can go per what's due, and it'll list out everything that's due in the order that it's due. So you'll look at that a couple times as well and take notes. Okay, so to recap, lecture notes, you watch my videos, you take notes. Okay, then you do the homework. Okay, do the homework, which are called exercises. So you do the exercises and all the lecture notes, then you take the quiz. Okay, somewhere in there you're doing discussion, right? Okay, then you take the quiz. What's on the quiz is stated in the section numbers. It says what sections are going to be quizzed on. That's in the topic outline, which is found on the home page or which is found on the front page. It says in the iPads or tablets. Okay, so you do the quiz, you write something for each question, and then you're going to turn that in the next day. You'll upload that. They all have to be in a PDF. The lecture notes have to be in a PDF. The quizzes need to be in a PDF, the written work, and you upload the written work. And you need to follow the directions of what to do. How much should you write for the lecture notes? I say in general, it should be about 70%, at least 70% of the notes that I write. I write out everything. And my handwriting is not large, it's not small, it's kind of in between. And so if you have really tiny handwriting, it can be fewer pages. Obviously, I can see that. If you have really large handwriting, it should be more pages than I write. So I'm not going to say that there's a set number, but I can tell. I go through it and I look and I can tell which, if you've done enough. And actually, for that, you have multiple chances to turn in. You have multiple times you could turn in the lecture notes. I will tell you that it's not enough the first time, but after that, I'm not going to say anything. And same thing with the quizzes. You need to turn in something for each problem. And I will look at that and see if you turn something in. If you do, even if you missed the quiz, you got 3 out of 5 on the quiz, whatever you turn in on the written work, I just see if you did it. I don't regrade that, okay? And so I told you the structure, but you need to make sure you know the dates, okay? So you go to lecture, you take notes, you do your homework, you take a quiz, and you turn it in. That's how it goes in a regular class. So same thing for this class, except I want you to turn in the lecture notes that you wrote out, and I want you to turn in the written work when you took the quiz. And you need to do discussion along the way, which again, you look at the dates of when that's due. Okay, hopefully that helps guide you on the rest of the class. From here, you need to go through and reread the homepage, and everything you can click on, you click on it in the first part of the class. Don't click on take the quiz unless you're ready to take the quiz, okay? But everything else you can click on and read it. You need to read things multiple times, take notes on what you're reading, and then go back and study that so you know what the format is and you know what everything is saying. Everything I'm just said is written in the homepage, the videos, or the syllabus. All those details are actually there of everything I just stated. So please go back and reread that, and that should do it. And hopefully we'll have a good semester. Thank you.